Hey everyone, and welcome to this kind of video supplement to episode 18 of the Custom Apparel Startups podcast. Know your numbers, how much does a customer cost, or the theory behind buying customers. My name is Mark Stevenson. I'm the co-host of the CAS podcast with Mark Vila, and also participate in the Custom Apparel Startups Facebook group, and I hope you do too. But what we're here to talk about today is kind of an addition to what we talked about last week and in the last podcast, which is how much a customer is worth. Now that episode was all about taking the initial value of a customer, or the first time that you sell them something and the value of that order, and using how often they order, how long they might stay, and what their likelihood is to refer other people to you to get a total lifetime value of a customer. What this does is kind of flip that over and take a look at how much a customer costs you for a particular marketing style. So if we use a marketing cost for an event as our first example, an event might only cost us $400 to rent a table, but then you've got to add in everything that it says on this little note here, and that is your labor in setting it up. The time, including the time it takes to set up, the time it takes to get ready, any supplies that it takes to run the show, whether or not it's business cards or brochures or pens and paper, the gas it takes you to get there, samples, all the stuff that might go into doing a farmer's market or a table show or something like that. Now this could also apply to driving around and talking to area businesses, and the gas that's included in the labor and the samples and the time. It could also include an advertisement. Maybe it's a $400 newsletter ad and how many orders you get from that, etc. And the podcast goes into all that. But the basics of the idea here are on the spreadsheet. So let's say something costs you $720 to do a marketing event, and you get 50 orders from that. Now the light green here are the numbers that you're going to plug in, and your total sales and your average sales. So let me make this light green as well, just so we'll be consistent. Okay, so you're going to type in how much it costs you to do the event, how many orders you got, and the average sale. And that's going to give you your total sales. And I did this way for a reason. I will show you in just a second. And once you have that, you find out how much it costs you to get a customer at this event. Well, you can immediately see that if you made $1,000 and it cost you $720 to do, then you've got $280 of profit per event. Now, when I say profit, that's a loose number, right? Because you've still got to subtract the cost of your shirts, the cost of your time, etc. But in general, you're talking about $280 in profit for that event. And more importantly, it cost you $14.40 to buy that customer and $20 to sell to that customer. So $14.40 cost, $20 sales. You made $5.60 on each one of those customers that came to the event. And I want you to do it like this, because now you can see, well, what if all these things were the same and I got a little bit better in a couple of different areas? Like, what if I got 55 orders? My average sale is still $20, but now my total sales are $1,100, and my customer acquisition cost was only $13 and change. I made $380. Well, okay, so I got 55 orders. What if I offered something a little extra and I brought up every sale by, $4? So now my average sale is $24, and you see my cost of the customer stayed the same, but my profit went up. So now not only do you see what the cost of acquisition for a customer is here, but you also see how you can impact that and how you can impact your profit for the event. Now, by the same token, you could take this and just copy and paste it, and you get the power of comparison. Let's say another event, or let's say an ad costs you only $400 to run, and you got 50 orders from it, and your average sale was $20. Well, now you can see my customer cost was $8 and I still made $600. So now I've got a choice here. I've got, maybe this is a show, and this is a advertising. And we talk about how to measure and make sure all these things work, and a few tracking tips for each one in the podcast as well. But you can see now I can decide, okay, what's better? What's a better use of my time? Is it one or the other? Can I do both? If I do this same calculation for driving around and handing out flyers, I do the same calculation for going to a networking event and handing out business cards. So you can see how all of these things, you start to stack up these costs per customer and make better decisions on where to spend your marketing time and marketing dollars. And the last thing I'll say on this short little video supplement is, because you really do have to listen to the podcast, is now I can take this average sale, and what if I plug that number into the value of a customer? How much is a customer worth spreadsheet? If I take this average sale, now I put $25, $24 in here, and if I do this 4 times a year, they last for 3 years, now I'm making $288 is my average sale value instead of just the 24. Or what if I do it for the event? So what if I take this and move it here and I plug in this number, $1,320? Okay, so now the average value in this event, it happens twice a year, and I'm going to do this. It's been around for 10 years. I'm going to do it for the next 4 years. Now this event value is $10,000, for doing these kind of events. And then again, if it's an event that has a lot of people that are likely to refer me to other people. Let's say I go to a cheer event, and I know that all the coaches that buy one thing are going to maybe buy 15 things down the line. I can start assigning R factors or referral values to it and get total value for the event. I can get total value for the event, for the customers. I get profit for event, customer cost. All these things are numbers that are really going to inform your business and allow you to make better decisions down the road. Now, you don't have to do this spreadsheet or do things exactly the same. The goal here is to start you thinking about not only the long-term value of each individual customer, but the long-term, the cost of each event, each ad, and each activity that you do for marketing, and how to measure the cost of a customer and the profit that can make you. If this is your first exposure to the CAS podcast, then welcome, and please give a listen. Go to caspodcast.com, click on the link that might be in the description at the bottom of this video. Listen to the last episode, which is episode 17, about knowing your numbers. Customer experience matters, working on your business, not in it, wasting money on marketing. These podcasts all build on one another, because we want you at Coldesi and Coleman & Company and in the CAS family, we want you to succeed. We want you to make tons of money. Come back, listen to the podcast, join the Facebook group, and of course, participate in our business at Coldesi and Coleman & Company. Go to caspodcast.com right now and give a listen.